If you don't have the attitude, skills, and knowledge, you're going to fail. And when you fail, that means the company does not meet objectives.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the customer service aspect, and that's a good one, which is if people had a better understanding or contextually the supply chain more end to end, they might either ask the right questions when they're on a conversation with a customer, or the customer might say something that would trigger a thought to bring up about another business opportunity that maybe they could get, because that's really what it's all about. I mean, customer service is managing the business you have, but it's also uncovering, new opportunities as well, if you're doing it right, my opinion.
Yep. I think also, I'm not going to pin all, I don't like when people categorize a whole group, a whole generation of people like, oh, the boomers do this, the Gen Z do this. But as we're all on our phones more, I feel like there is less human interaction. And I think if you grew up having to provide customer service because you served ice cream and then worked at a bar, and you said, yeah, I've done all those jobs and I kind of learned it because I didn't have a phone. Oh, some of the younger people today, but it's also old people, play on their phones so much that I think there's a gap in their customer service. And by the way, I was just said over the weekend, I was at a few parties, and I noticed there's people who are there who are sitting at a table looking at their phone. I was like, so you came to this party to look at your phone. So, and by the way, they are not the Gen Zs. they're on the older side of the population.
Well, you get that habit. It's a terrible habit. And I remember going to dinner with the family, and I'd always have the kids shut the phones off. You're going to spend 20 minutes here at the table having dinner.
It's going to be very painful, but you're going to have to look at me and your mother and talk.
Yes, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to do that. No, that's a difficult thing. We got some new courses rolling out too that are more on the soft skill side, email management, and then customer service as well. Just how to communicate internally within the company. Some people don't. Some younger folks and older folks too. How do you write an email the right way? How do you structure it to where, and who do you put on copy, and how do you, so there's a lot more.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better if you can say, hey, we trained, everybody's on the same page because we showed them how to do this. And it reminds me when I was still in the logistics business, I would always say to my team, hey, if that shipment's late, get on the phone, call them. And then sometimes I go, hey, Carrie, did you call so-and-so? Carrie would say, I texted him. I was like, that's not the same. I need you to hear his voice. Is Carrie angry or says, no, that's not a problem, I appreciate the call? And when you get an okay back from him, it tells me very little. So I used to always say, you call Carrie up, say, I'm sorry, your shipment's late. Here's what we're doing. Here's the new, and I'm going to follow up with an email and confirm, and I'm going to copy my boss. So, and I'll make sure we put a notation in the TMS or whatever is required. And those little things matter. So later on, when I don't send that email, because I sent Carrie a text and he said, okay, I don't have that record in my system. Nobody sent an email. It's not in the TMS comments. So I feel like those little things is how you do business. Everybody does it the same way. And if I'm brand new to the business, and you could be 50 years old and brand new to the business, maybe you don't know that that's how it's done here. And there's a million little things like that in our business.
There is. And, I take some of these courses too, that I've taken several of them, that I learn something every time. It may be a topic I think I know, but there's always room to learn. So that's important.